The following featured presentation is part of the Skywalking Network.
This is what you can look forward to on this brave new episode 503 of Skywalking Through Neverland.
But I didn't care about any of that because we saw Harrison Ford in the MCU.
Because this film, it did need a woman's touch here and there, because it is all men, which I don't mind watching. I mean, Harrison Ford.
I think that's what you need to know from the Incredible Hulk while going into Brave New World.
The Red Hulk rises up from the podium. You hear these horns go.
Hulk smash!
Are you ready?
Off to Neverland.
Here we go!
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome. Disneyland is your land.
When I first made Star Wars, everybody in Hollywood said, well, this is a movie Disney should have made.
You're more than just fans. You're family.
Best day ever!
Secrets lab.
It's about family, and that's what's so powerful about it.
Hey.
When you use a bird to write with, it's called tweeting.
When we visit the world of Disney, we never grow old. It's a Peter Pan, Never land that keeps us young in heart.
This is Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi, and you are skywalking through Neverland. I have a good feeling about this.
Hey, Skywalkers! The MCU has assembled once again with full force. But now, how much homework do you have to do moving forward? Well, we will let you know very soon. But until then, we want to welcome you back to Skywalking Through Neverland. I am Richard Woloski, but now everyone please say hello to my sweetie wife Sarah, who's looking very adorable in all her Captain America attire.
Oh, so happy this week. I can pull out my Captain America spirit jersey, my awesome first Avenger Captain America ears. These are the best ears ever. I really love these Mickey ears. And then the spirit jersey, of course.
Fashion show.
Captain America on the back. Oh, I love it so much.
That's one of the best spirit shirts they've ever put out.
I
love that blue.
Me too. I love it. I love the Captain America's like, he's like one of my top 3 superheroes.
Yeah.
So yes. I just, my love for Superman was displaced by my love now Captain America growing up, because the Captain America movies were awesome. So there you have it.
Okay.
And Richard,
I made a note of that.
Richard, I have to say that you look amazing because you're wearing your Marvel blazer with the Marvel shirt.
Yes.
A la when Kathleen Kennedy wore like the Star Wars shirt and she'd wear a blazer, that white blazer over it. Mm-hmm. It's kind of that similar look.
And here we have, wait, where's Captain America? He's over.
Cap's right here.
There we go.
It's the comic Captain America,
yeah,
right?
Love this blazer. I've got the R2-D2 blazer and the Marvel blazer.
Yeah.
I am blazed out.
Yeah. Okay, Skywalkers, we are your enthusiastic podcast destination for the many decades of your Star Wars, Disney, Marvel, and pop culture fandom. So it's time for your weekly Wookiee hug and your little sprinkle of pixie dust for our family of Skywalkers. We are live right now on the Skywalking Through Neverland YouTube channel. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and click the little bell for notifications. It really helps us out. And Richard, last week we were asking for a few more subscribers on our YouTube channel. So what is the tally?
Well, last week we were at 9,230 subscribers on YouTube. Like always, we asked for a couple of more, 5 or 6. But the Skywalkers said, nope, we're not going to do 5 or 6. We're going to do 31.
What?
So currently, we are at 9,261 subscribers since last week. We went up 31 subscribers.
Holy buckets. Is that because of our reels or something? I don't even know what that is.
You know why? Because we ask.
Yes.
If you don't ask for anything in life, you don't get it.
That's true. Okay.
So we ask, and you guys and girls really stepped up and did it. We really appreciate it. As you know, we're going for that 10,000 subscriber goal by Comic-Con in July. Mm-hmm. I think we can do it in 5 months.
Wow. Now, on Instagram, we did go up about 11 subscribers. We had 4,450, and this week we have 4,461. So yay, we're really aiming for 5K on that
By Comic-Con.
by Comic-Con.
Or next week.
Now, in this episode, we review the new MCU film, Captain America: Brave New World. And since this is the 35th entry in the MCU, there is some homework to do. So we'll tell you some of the things you really should brush up on before going in, things we wished we had known before going in, things we wished we had watched recently before watching this film, which are somewhat surprising. So with that, please note that there will be some spoilers.
So Tough Luck says in the Sky Chat, I'm bummed that this film has a rotten 52% on Rotten Tomatoes, but I'm not surprised since I had a feeling about this. This might be the only bad egg in the 9 MCU projects coming out in 2025. All right, so how do people know it's a bad film if they haven't seen it yet?
Yeah.
That seems to be a running theme on Rotten Tomatoes, and I'm sure the media didn't run to Rotten Tomatoes and give it a bad score because we were at the screening last night, and I think the overall response that was positive.
Yeah, it was pretty positive. Absolutely. So, yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Review bombing. People don't want things to do well. I don't understand.
Me neither. So look elsewhere for your reviews. All right, now we are being sponsored by Small World Vacations, and they are a diamond-level Disney vacation planner travel agency that can help you book your trip to a Disney park around the world, on a Disney cruise, or a Universal theme park.
Richard, we just booked our trip.
Yes, we did. With Small World Vacations, and I gotta say, they are taking care of us, not only because we're partnering with them with Skywalking through Neverland. That's just what they do. They look out for you, and they look out for you for any kind of promotions that are coming your way, and they will help you out, and they will apply those promotions to your booked vacation. Why not use a travel agent like Small World Vacations? They will look out for you. And don't forget, there is a no-obligation price quote, so just tell them Skywalking through Neverland sent you. So go over there to smallworldvacations.com.
We are recording this episode from Long Beach, California on February the 12th, 2025. So, Richard, what happened today in Star Wars history?
Well, let's go back 47 years to this date, not you because you weren't born, to this date, February the 12th, 1978, the very first expanded universe novel, Splinter of the Mind's Eye by Alan Dean Foster, is published by Del Rey. This novel has what I consider the best Ralph McQuarrie painting ever.
Wow.
Luke and Leia are on the ground in the stone temple, and right in front of them stands a looming Darth Vader who has the high ground.
He learned.
He did. And look at Luke's lightsabers right next to him, and it looks like he's trying to feel for it. So we've come right in the middle of a battle, and there's this red glow. What is this red glow? Right in between Luke and Leia and Darth Vader.
And Leia's wearing a different outfit, and she's got this really cool belt.
Yeah.
She's got like a tool belt, like Batman tool belt on.
They have these hoodies.
My goodness.
And it's Leia because of her hair buns.
Yes.
Love this painting. If they made this into like a huge 10 by 10 mural, guess what we would be having in our living room?
That.
We would have this.
Instead of the mirror? Let's do it.
You and your mirror. I love my mirror. Leave my mirror alone. Now this novel, Splinter of the Mind's Eye, it was written to be a low-budget sequel to Star Wars. Just in case Star Wars didn't do so well at the box office or even failed, Lucas wanted to continue with his Skywalker journey. And so he had this written to be very low budget, which is why it's all set on the misty planet of Mimban.
No Han, right? No Han or Chewie is in this.
Mm-hmm. Just Luke and Leia and Darth Vader and the droids are the only characters from Star Wars. So nothing says low budget than mist. You see a misty environment. That's all mist from beginning to end. That hides the fact that they're not on a big set and there's no need for set dressing.
Yeah.
Now, Mimban is seen on screen in Solo: A Star Wars Story. So they really pulled from the expanded universe for Solo with Mimban, the Cloud Riders. And Mimban is the mud planet where Han was fighting as an Imperial, and he questioned as to what they were doing there on Mimban, and they were the hostiles, not the Mimbans.
Right.
And it's where he met Tobias Beckett and his crew.
And Chewie.
And Chewie, yes.
Yes.
Yes. Now, we broke down Splinter of the Mind's Eye and did a review on episode 407. So we'll put that link in the show notes. Did you read Splinter of the Mind's Eye? Let us know.
Wait for it.
The 35th MCU film comes out February the 14th as Captain America Brave New World. This picks up right after the Disney Plus series Falcon and the Winter Soldier, where Sam Wilson has picked up the mantle as Captain America.
We're going to give you our take on the film, as well as roll in some press junket sound bites. Yes, it is the 35th MCU film, but the fourth Captain America film behind the first Avenger, the Winter Soldier, and Civil War. And this is the penultimate film in the MCU's Phase 5. Now, did you get all that, Richard?
Hold on, I gotta write all this down. Got it. Okay, good. That's a lot of math.
It is.
Now, Captain America Brave New World begins right after Thaddeus Ross has been elected president of the United States. Sam Wilson wrestles with working for the president, and while doing so, finds himself at the center of an international incident. He and his team must figure out the true masterminds behind it and work to stop the next world war. So now, as we move forward with this review breakdown, there will be spoilers.
Attention Skywalkers! Spoilers ahead!
Warning!
Attention Skywalkers! Spoilers ahead!
Warning!
Spoilers ahead! Spoilers ahead!
But some of them really are good to know before going in. They're really more story spoilers so that you understand what's happening.
Yeah, we won't reveal any kind of big twists in the film, but yet this is something that I wish we had known going in.
So first of all, before we get into that primer, Richard, let's give our initial thoughts on this film, right? After we had seen it last night at the press screening. So do you want to start?
Sure. Now, I love me some Captain America. He's one of my top, I would say, like you, 3 superheroes behind Batman, Spider-Man, and Captain America. So I've been looking forward to this film for years now. When they first announced it in 2022, a new Captain America, I'm in. It is a non-stop action thrill ride, but as you're watching the fantastic action sequences, you have to really listen to what's going on since there is a lot of exposition being thrown at you. And you have to remember how recognizable names fit into the story. So when they mention Thaddeus Ross, okay, but how does he fit into the overall storyline? We know he was a general and he's now the president, but what's more of his background? And they expect you to know this background going in. Now, Sam Wilson, like Ant-Man, they are the heroes with no superpowers, so it's easier to relate with them.
Okay.
And unlike Doctor Strange or like Spider-Man, they have these powers.
Right.
So it's hard to really put yourself in their shoes. However, the shield throwing abilities are Olympian. When Sam Wilson throws his shield, it's like geometry. It's like if it hits here, it's going to bounce here, going to bounce here, going to bounce there, and knock out 15 opponents. It was fun watching the aerial battles as he's like now part Captain America, part Falcon, but I could do away with half of that because less is more. Because he almost became too superhuman, what with his superhero throwing abilities and now his Falcon wings. I thought, okay, we know he's not going to be hurt or damaged, even though he is roughed up, but we know he's going to survive because he's got all this technology. So I felt his wings were almost a crutch. But I didn't care about any of that because we saw Harrison Ford in the MCU. And we saw him in large doses. This was not a supporting role. This was a co-lead. He was powerful, he commanded the room, and he could pull out these heartfelt moments.
Yeah, Harrison Ford really had a lot of range. I feel like that was kind of my favorite part of the film as well. But now, like you had mentioned that there's a lot of things being thrown at you. And yes, like in those first opening scenes, I just felt like I had a lot of catching up to do before I could really enjoy this film. And we'll get into the details of that in a few minutes. But that was just my very first thought watching the film, and then immediately after watching, I'm like, I wish I had brushed up on this. Now, that being said, I too just love watching Harrison Ford. And he has such depth of character, such commitment to his acting, and just such great range. This movie really gave him a lot of range. I loved it. And this was as much Harrison Ford's movie as it was Anthony Mackie's as Sam Wilson. And when the two were in scenes together, that was really the heart of the film. You know, a lot of these MCU movies, it's more about the characters than the action. This film did have a lot of action. It had lots of twists and turns. It had this mystery plot that you had to figure out during it. So in that way, it was like Captain America Winter Soldier, where there's like this mystery going on and it's very political. But there were also some very hand-wavy moments in this film. You just kind of have to let go to enjoy.
So when you say hand-wavy...
Oh, I mean like what you were mentioning, how Sam Wilson would throw his shield and it would magically hit what it needed to hit. There were certain moments when I was like, why doesn't this character, you know, he's being talked to in a headset by the bad guy and it's making him very angry. It's like, well, just take off the headset and then you're not going to be angry and turn into Red Hulk. So those little moments I had to just kind of, okay, just let go and just enjoy what's happening on screen. So
you say you have to do some homework, which is true. You got to brush up. Now, I think we have a good amount of knowledge on the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
If you go in there thinking, I'm all caught up, I know what's going on, it would behoove you to either listen to this episode.
Yep.
We know you are already. Or just know that there's enough information where you can get by on what's being said to you and what's the context clues.
Right.
So you won't be that lost, but it's good to know the details so you're not thinking, wait, who's this again and what is that?
Yes, exactly.
All right, so now here are things you should know, things that we wished we had known before going into Captain America Brave New World. Now, let's talk about that title.
Okay.
The film was announced under the title Captain America New World Order, but it was changed a year later to Brave New World. And to me, Brave New World does not stick in my mind. Even right now, I've got to read the notes. Brave New World. New World Order is a much better title, and it fits the plot so much more concisely.
Okay. I think they both work. I don't know. I didn't have much of a thing. I just think it's a lot to say Captain America Brave New World or New World Order. The same thing. It's like these five characters. It's like and the hashtag for it is hashtag Captain America Brave New World. Like you have to say that whole thing. It's like can't you just say Cap Brave New World or something?
Previously
like
we had Captain America First Avenger.
Yeah.
Rolls off the tongue. Winter Soldier rolls off the tongue.
Winter
Civil
Soldier
War
does. Right.
rolls off the tongue.
Right.
Brave New World. I keep thinking Aladdin.
A whole new world.
A whole new world.
That's funny.
Now, like we said, this film comes right off of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And we're going to give you some details from that Disney Plus show to know before going in.
Right.
And also, you need to watch The Incredible Hulk again. This is a 2008 Ed Norton film.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're caught up on those two, you'll have a very successful viewing experience.
And now, it would make sense that you have to be familiar with Falcon and the Winter Soldier because this is kind of a sequel to that series. But The Incredible Hulk from 2008, how many years ago was that now?
I think we've only rewatched that
once. Yes, and luckily it was pretty recently. I mean, within the last 2-ish years. But even then, it's kind of a forgettable film. So, and then Thaddeus Ross plays a big part in that. And so that is something you need to know. So we're going to go into details of what you need to know for these films.
Okay, you just mentioned Thaddeus Ross.
Yes.
So let's start with him. Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross. Where does Thunderbolt come into this? Well, known on May 2nd. when Thunderbolts comes to a theater near you.
Oh.
Now, initially, this role was played by William Hurt until his death, with his last performance being in Black Widow, and now he's played by Harrison Ford. So we meet him in The Incredible Hulk, and he is a United States general who was responsible for reviving the Super Soldier Project so he can create a weapon. Bruce Banner is used for Ross's experiment that will make humans immune to gamma radiation, and the experiment goes bad, which results in the creation of the Incredible Hulk.
Yes.
And by 2016, within the timeline, in 2016, Ross had retired from the army after suffering a near-fatal heart attack, and that comes into play in this Captain America film. He now serves as the Secretary of State for the United States, and he then proposes the Sokovia Accords. It all comes down to him. Now, when we were watching Captain America, I forgot it was him.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
Ross that proposed the Sokovia Accords.
It was him, yes.
So it was he who split up the Avengers.
Exactly. That was in Captain America Civil War, right? He was laying down that,
So this places the Avengers under the supervision of the United Nations, which divides the Avengers. It divides this unified team. So after the public feud between the Avengers, Ross brings Steve Rogers' team, who doesn't want to sign the accord, to the Raft, which is a maximum security prison. Now, once again, we're watching Captain America. I forgot what the Raft was.
Oh, see, I did not, but yeah.
But when they break out of the Raft, Ross deems them fugitives and seeks their arrest.
Now, it's important to note that Sam Wilson, as the Falcon, was part of Steve Rogers' team. So
he's not too happy with Thaddeus Ross.
No, and he is, exactly. So they have a history, and it's kind of an antagonistic history there.
So Sam, he doesn't forget.
Right.
He doesn't forgive or forget. And throughout Brave New World, Ross tries to reconnect with his daughter, Betty, played by Liv Tyler, in The Incredible Hulk. And she wants nothing to do with him, since he is the one that turned her boyfriend, Bruce Banner, into the Hulk, the thing that destroyed his life. And on many occasions in the Hulk, he's tried to ambush him. Once again, some spoilers here. At the end of the film, he does reconnect with his daughter, and he does grow a heart. So,
as well as a Red Hulk.
Yes.
Which we knew.
So, but now, how does that play into? For me, it excites me.
Yeah.
Because we think he's turned a corner, but what's going to happen now in the Thunderbolts?
Exactly. All right, Horsehead Jeff coming in saying the Raft is Narkina 5.
Oh.
The Raft is to the MCU what Narkina 5 is to Star Wars. I love it.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's this big jail in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah.
Which is underwater.
Exactly. Now, also in The Incredible Hulk from the 2008 film, it's important to note that Dr. Samuel Stearns is in that film. This is played by Tim Blake Nelson. Now, this character has only appeared in The Incredible Hulk, and now, once again, light spoilers, Brave New World. However, I wish I would have remembered this stuff. So we're going to tell you some things about Samuel Stearns. So in The Incredible Hulk, Bruce Banner goes to a cellular biologist. This is Samuel Stearns, who is initially known as Mr. Blue. Yes. And basically, Bruce wants to get an antidote for his Hulk transformations. But Stearns takes Banner's blood, and instead of synthesizing an antidote, he synthesizes his blood into a larger supply without Banner's permission, because his goal is to use the blood on more people because it has limitless potential, he says.
That's the makings of a bad guy.
So, once again, Bruce Banner and Ross's daughter, Betty, they are boyfriend-girlfriend, and they're trying to destroy this blood supply. But that's when Emil Blonsky, who is played by Tim Roth, leads a special forces team to apprehend Bruce and Betty. And then Blonsky then orders Stearns to inject him with the blood, which turns him into the Abomination.
Yeah, so
that's how we get that.
We saw Tim Roth as the Abomination in She-Hulk.
Yep. Yeah, that was really fun. Yeah, and here, then, at this point, the Abomination attacks Stearns, and some of Banner's blood gets into a cut on Stearns' forehead. And in that film, that's where we leave him. I think it's teased at the end of his film that his brain is growing, right?
Yeah, he starts to mutate,
right?
Which is how he gets that big mutated Brainhead.
Exactly.
And you keep wanting to call him Brainiac, but don't, because that's a character
No.
from the DC universe.
Yeah, he's called the leader.
Yes.
Yeah. So the blood made this brilliant man into a brillianter man.
Just like that sentence.
Exactly.
So I think that's what you need to know from The Incredible Hulk while going into Brave New World.
Absolutely.
And once again, I wish we had seen this episode of Skywalking through Neverland so we had known what was going on.
Yes. Now let's get into what you need to know from Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So
once again, if you're just joining us now, there will be spoilers coming up.
Yes. So at the end of Avengers Endgame, Steve Rogers hands the shield to Sam. But throughout this series of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Sam wrestles with the weight of that responsibility and the idea of a black man taking on that name. So much so that he gives the shield to a museum and says, here, you can display this at the Smithsonian, I believe. Mm-hmm. So he refuses the mantle of Captain America, but then this results in America naming John Walker as the new Captain America, who then sullies it by using the shield to behead someone in one of the most horrific scenes I have ever seen on MCU film.
I'm so glad that he'll be into Thunderbolts because I want to see him go down.
Yeah, oh my God, that was awful. All right.
Yeah. He's now called the Agent.
Yeah, U.S. Agent.
U.S. Agent, yes.
Exactly. So Sam Wilson and Bucky Barnes, they have a bit of an antagonistic relationship throughout the MCU, but they have one main connection, and that is they are friends with Steve Rogers. So now in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, they must learn to work together and like each other without Steve there as a crutch, and ultimately they become friends and buddies. So here also Sam takes Bucky to meet Isaiah Bradley. Now, this is an important character. Isaiah Bradley is a super soldier who fought in the Korean War, but afterwards, he was imprisoned by the U.S. government and experimented on for 30 years because he had the super soldier serum. Mm-hmm. And so he, and I think during this series, he got exonerated and was able to leave jail.
Yes, so it doesn't make the U.S. government in the MCU look very good.
No. Absolutely not. Now, during Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Sam's Falcon wings were damaged, and Bucky then called in a favor to Wakanda, and they created him a new vibranium wings and an Exo 7 suit for Sam, which now he wears proudly in this film. It's all nice and shiny and vibranium, and it's really pretty.
Yes, when he does get into battles and gets stabbed, you think, okay, he got stabbed right in the abdomen. He's no more.
It's okay.
Okay, he has this suit.
Yeah, it's like shielding armor. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Now, there's a few other pieces of information that you should know, if you don't already. Adamantium. Richard, do you know what adamantium is? Oh, did you not know?
What? I knew it was something, but in the middle of all this exposition being thrown at you, they said adamantium. It's like, oh, okay, hold on. Okay, how does that connect with Wolverine? I know it does. His claws and his skeleton is made out of adamantium, but is there something else? So there was a lot of jockeying going on in my head as they threw this out.
Okay.
But that's just what it is.
Yes.
It's the material that Wolverine's skeleton is made out of, and it's very, very durable. Even more durable than vibranium, right?
Right. Yes, we learned that in this film.
Yeah.
Adamantium is a made-up, super strong metal alloy for the Marvel Universe. So, and it's a MacGuffin in the film, adamantium.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, so the whole treaty that Thaddeus Ross is trying to put through is that all the countries are coming together to sign this treaty and say that this adamantium will be the world's adamantium. It won't belong to any one nation. Mm-hmm. And this adamantium came to them from the Celestial that's in the middle of the Indian Ocean.
Mm-hmm. But it was founded by the Japanese miners.
Right.
So really it belongs to the Japanese at this point.
Yeah, according to exploration back, whatever. Yeah. All right. Well, who knows? Really, it belongs to the Celestials, but the Celestials aren't around.
Until they come and claim it,
the
Japanese gets it.
Exactly. And another piece of info that's great to know is the Red Room. So this is where Natasha Romanoff, who is, of course, Black Widow, was trained to be a deadly assassin, and where many, many other women were also trained in that art. So here in this film, we are introduced to Ruth, who is the president's chief of security. She is a Black Widow. So we know she has that amazing training. and Sam Wilson suggests stay out of her way. Now, we thought she would be a problem in this film, but she ends up being a great asset to our heroes. And one of the things I really like about the film, because this film, it did need a woman's touch here and there, because it is all men, which I don't mind watching. I mean, Harrison Ford, but like, it was great to have her there.
I liked her character.
Yeah.
She's like 4'8".
Yes.
And she can kick butt like a Hulk.
Yeah. It was really neat.
Yeah, as soon as they said that she was a Black Widow and trained in the Red Room, like Sam said, stay out of her way.
Yeah, and she's going into a prison, and they're like, "Oh, do you need an escort?" She's like, "I think I can handle myself." So funny.
All right, now you're caught up with what you need to know before going to see Captain America: Brave New World. You're welcome. So now let's roll into some press stuff. As you've been watching on YouTube, TikTok, late night, the cast has been all over the place.
Yes. So here, Anthony Mackie lays out what your expectations should be going into this movie.
This movie is definitely in the vein of the Captain America movies. It's grounded and steeped in reality. You know, you have a storyline that's more just based in a natural reality that we can relate to, just like the other Cap movies. You know, you can expect Harrison Ford. You can expect, you can expect great action. Like, we had a great stunt team. My stuntman, David Warren, does flips, kicks, and all kind of crazy stuff. So we wanted to, our director, Julius Ona, talked about the idea of taking the wings as far as they could possibly go. So there's a lot of stuff in this movie with the costume and the wings that you haven't seen before, because we went to Wakanda, and Wakanda hooked us up with a brand new and improved suit. So it's a lot. It's a lot.
You mentioned Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
This is his Marvel debut, is it not?
It is.
Yes, right. So did you like kind of immerse him in MCU?
No, Harrison showed up with the game. It was so amazing because, you know, when you see stars of that level, they're so different, they're so compact, they're so like isolated. And the first day on set, Harrison, you know, they had all of us like in one corner in our cooling tent. And you look across set, and Harrison has his chair, and he's walking across set, and he's like, right? So he comes over, and he sits in the group with the rest of the actors, and he just talked and chilled and hung out, and it really grounded the rest of the actors to know that, like, we're on the same playing field. Like, he was one of us, you know? Cool. So it was really amazing.
He does a good Harrison Ford impression.
Yeah, that was funny.
You know, they didn't mention that he's also an executive producer.
Right. Yeah, we saw that credit in the film.
Not just the star. He was pretty much talking like an executive producer. We had this crew member and that crew member.
Yeah.
Now, he said that the director really wanted to ground this in reality. Like I was saying earlier, if they had done less with the wings and the geometry of the shield throwing, I think it would have grounded us more in reality. That kind of took us out. But these MCU films, they're there to entertain, to make you go, wow.
I think the pieces that were grounded was like the fact that Harrison Ford, Thaddeus Ross, wants to be friends with his daughter again. He wants
to connect with his daughter.
Yeah.
I get that.
Right.
But I just love Anthony Mackie's enthusiasm.
Yes.
We've seen him on other talk shows talking about other MCU films, and he is so excited. He is so excited. He is that representative you need within your cast.
Yes, I remember one of the first interview I ever saw with him was for his debut in Winter Soldier. And he was talking about how he got cast as the Falcon. And he's like, okay, I got to get in great shape because I got to look good in this super low-cut V-neck outfit that was in the comics, right? It's like down to his navel.
Yeah, it's that 70s kind of V-neck that goes from your neck to your
navel.
Lower abdomen.
Yes, exactly. He's like, oh, I gotta look good in this. And then he gets to set. He's like, oh, I don't have this kind of outfit. Well, I look banging. That was pretty funny. Okay, so now let's get into this first look featurette where Kevin Feige and Anthony Mackie talk a little more about Harrison Ford.
Oh, I'm listening.
And Harrison Ford playing President Ross is one of the many pinch-yourself moments.
I had seen actors in the Marvel movies have a really good time. And I thought, well, maybe I ought to get me some of that.
Harrison was cool, and he was great. And it was really interesting to see him sculpting a character in a world this big. I couldn't put a price on that lesson.
You may be Captain America, but you're not Steve Rogers.
You're right. I'm not.
Let's not forget that he was 81 years old when he shot this movie.
Yes.
And he does things that a 31-year-old can't even do.
I couldn't take my eyes off him.
I was so excited to know that he was going to be entering the MCU as Thaddeus Ross. William Hurt is a phenomenal actor. Who could replace him? Oh, Harrison Ford. Okay, let's move on. We miss
William Hurt.
William Hurt, rest in peace.
Right.
But just know that your character is in good hands.
Exactly. Yeah, and I just want to say, we were talking about grounding this, and really the simplest story in this film is Thaddeus Ross's estrangement from his daughter. Now, if this were a musical, if Captain America Brave New World were a musical, then Harrison Ford would be singing his I Want song in the first 10 minutes, and it would say that all he wants is to reunite with his daughter and walk with her under the cherry blossom trees.
And it's yeah. Now when he kept mentioning cherry blossoms, I'm thinking that 90s grunge band? Cherry blossoms?
What?
Okay, that's a weird pull, but okay. We all have a musical taste. I like the Monkees. He likes cherry blossoms. Then you see outside of the White House, and there's cherry blossom trees everywhere.
Right.
Hold on. I made a mistake, and Jeff in the Sky Chat is correcting me. Not the cherry blossoms, the gin blossoms.
Oh. Okay. Whoops.
Okay. Correction noted.
Wow. Yeah. And of course, by the end, spoilers, Harrison Ford does get that wish. And it's one of the only two moments in this film that really touched my heart and got me a bit misty. I did tear up in that moment. You too?
Oh, it was a very heartfelt moment.
Yeah. And I want to say that the other moment that I got really heartfelt and teared up was when Sam Wilson is talking to Harrison Ford and says, if we can't find the good in each other, we've already lost the fight. Now, in this film, he's talking about the U.S. and Japan and really all the other nations of the world. But that really hit home for me with the state of fandom, online battles, and just really the great divide of our country's politics these days. Oh my God, that just touched me.
Oh, and if you know Sam Wilson from Falcon and the Winter Soldier, you know he loves his speeches.
Okay, now I do have to say, I also thought with that quote, if we can't find the good in each other, we've already lost the fight. It also made me think of Rose Tico in The Last Jedi. And when she says to Finn, she says, that's how we win, not by fighting what we hate, but by saving what we love. So really, the message is focus on the good in people, focus on the good in society, just focus on the good, and hopefully we can all make it work.
Yeah, and work together. And
yes.
That is the big slogan for Thad Ross's campaign. Mm-hmm. We got to do this together.
Right.
And it really, really made sense there.
Yes.
Now, I had heard some other Harrison Ford interviews where he said, you know what, I didn't mind feeling like a fool and doing things that made me feel foolish. Like when he's turning into that Red Hulk, you can imagine on set, he's just kind of withering and writhing and twisting.
Yes.
And I'm sure that looks very, very foolish.
Right.
But he wanted to go there.
Yeah.
This is what the role needs. This is what it requires. And I'll be there for that. He didn't hold back, and you can tell he did not hold back. I love me some Bill Bixby when he's turning into the Hulk from the 1970s TV show.
Oh, okay.
But I just love the way Harrison Ford did it here, and even Mark Ruffalo.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He does. Yeah, I think Harrison Ford outdoes them all.
Oh wow.
I'm just saying, mic drop.
Wow. Okay. I mean, it was cool seeing Harrison Ford turn into a Red Hulk, and it still looks like him.
Yes.
Like, the technology is really good these days.
Now, like we said earlier in this segment, that he had a near-fatal heart attack, Thaddeus Ross, and throughout Captain America Brave New World, you see him secretly taking these pills to help his heart. Mm-hmm. But what those pills are, those are pills from Dr. Stearns to help his heart. However, Dr. Stearns
has laced them.
He's laced them because he's been put in this prison for 16 years. And if you're going to turn me into this monster, I'm going to turn you into a monster. And these pills are laced with gamma radiation, which over time will turn Ross into the Red Hulk.
They're like my allergies shots, sweetie. Every week I get injected with a little bit of the allergen, and every week they keep upping the dose.
So you'll turn into a green Jedi Tink Hulk.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
That can fly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I didn't know much about the Red Hulk, to be honest.
No.
And
so I don't know how close that is to comics at all.
Right, but I just loved watching this big scene. They fight between the Red Hulk and Captain America.
Among the cherry blossoms.
Yeah, among the cherry blossoms. And seeing how big and powerful this big monster was. But I gotta say, when he was destroying the White House and destroying this or that, like, oh, no, please, that's a lot of property damage.
Yeah.
As you get older, you appreciate the value of property.
Well, even just after the fires here in LA.
Oh, exactly.
You really appreciate the property. Ugh.
Yeah, a lot of paperwork.
Yes.
And I love the fact that the Red Hulk looks like Harrison Ford.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good. And when Harrison Ford, before he turns, his eyes turn red. They start to glow.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so creepy.
Oh,
yeah.
This is a behemoth. And I can't wait to see more of the Red Hulk.
Do you think we will?
I think we will. This is not a spoiler because we don't know, but they're not going to leave that on the table.
No?
I think we need to see a Hulk, She-Hulk, and Red Hulk team up.
Oh, that would be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and Abomination, maybe.
Yeah, okay.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Done in Disney Plus. We're just giving you ideas every single week. All right, now let's talk about the music. This is something that you always tap me. Oh, look at this. Listen to this. Listen to this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. So, once again, this film, we were trying to catch up. So it was hard for me to really pay close attention to the music like I usually try to do. But I'll give you a background in the music and one of the moments that really stood out to me. So the composer for Brave New World is Laura Karpman. And Richard, we saw her in person at D23 Expo. Mm-hmm. And she composed the music also for What If, the 2 What If seasons, Ms. Marvel, and the Marvels movie. And so at that convention, D23 is, I believe, when she announced that she was doing the music for this film, and I was very excited. Now, Alan Silvestri composed the music for the previous Captain America films, and I was excited to hear what Laura Karpman did for this. So from what I could gather in different moments, the music was more in line with the Winter Soldier soundtrack, where there's lots of noise and notes designed to make you feel off balance more than not. And that's because this film is more of a mystery. The plot is about solving this mystery of who is behind this package, what's in the package. There is one moment, though, that I did notice, and this is when Harrison Ford is turning into Red Hulk, and they kind of zoom in, and he hasn't changed yet, and he's at the podium, the presidential podium, and they zoom in, and he drops down behind the podium. And all of a sudden, right before the Red Hulk rises up from the podium, you hear these horns go.
Yeah, it sounds very much like war horns.
Yes, it's like a distorted Ewok horn call. That was a really cool moment. So that's the music. So, Richard, let's talk a little bit about Anthony Mackie and his chemistry with the new Falcon. Because now Anthony Mackie, Sam Wilson, has stepped into the role of Captain America, while someone else is training to be the new Falcon, and that is Joaquin Torres. And we met him in Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, great character who's just that can-do kid. Mm-hmm. He just so wants to be the Falcon with all this cool gadgetry, but Sam puts him in place. No, you're not ready yet. Not yet. And you would think that a character like this has the potential of being annoying, but he's not.
No.
He knows his stuff. He doesn't just sit in the background and wait to be told what to do. He snaps right into action.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and their chemistry was really fun. I wish there was more of it, honestly, on screen, because they do a lot of the fight scenes together. They work together.
Because he also has wings.
Right. So they're like flying around in the Indian Ocean, trying to stop these big jets. And it's a really cool scene. And they talk to each other on their comms, and you see them all shooting around. It's crazy.
Yeah, they worked very well together as not just master and apprentice, but really a co-team because he, once again, really pulls his weight.
He has a can-do attitude.
Yes.
Is that what you're talking about?
And there was one part where I wish had been edited out. And this doesn't match the rest of his character. When Sam brings him to Isaiah Bradley to train, Joaquin just starts in with all the old man jokes. Oh, we're gonna train in the geriatrics, weightlifting, or do you need a walker to get to your whatever? He just a lot of old man jokes.
Yeah.
I thought that was very out of character for someone like Joaquin Torres.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't match the rest of the film and his respectful personality.
I would agree with that. Yeah. Oh, I have a question for you, because before we get into the tag, I really want to know what you think of this. So in the film, I noticed a lot of shots composed with the lighting behind the characters, which obscured them a bit. Like on Air Force One, Harrison Ford is talking and the plane windows are like right behind him.
It's a lot of backlight.
Lot of backlight, lots and lots. And this was all over the place in the film. Now, I was trying to think of what this means for their character, because, you know, everything is a storytelling moment.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder is it trying to depict that their characters, like there's more to them than you can see?
No, that depicts that they're seeing the light. And
really?
This new knowledge is obscuring what they had previously. So now they're seeing something in a whole new way. Like when Thad Ross was on Air Force One, he was given all this new information. We won't spoil this part, but it was really making him see something in a whole new way. So that backlight is representing his what he's going through at that moment. That to me represented he, like other characters in that position, they're seeing the light, and that light is giving them a new perspective on the situation, which is what every character has to go through to grow.
Okay, I guess I accept that.
Oh, thank you.
Now let's talk about the tag.
As we know, you don't leave a Marvel film when it fades to black and the credits start rolling.
Now, our press screening knew that. No one left. No one set foot outside that theater. We sat through the whole credits, which we do anyway, because the credits are part of the film. You get to hear the soundtrack. You get to see all the names of the people.
We spent years and years creating this film that you just enjoyed. And it's fun to go, oh, we talked to him. He's been on the show. She's been on the show.
Yes.
But unfortunately, there's only one tag.
There is. So
usually there's like two tags.
Usually there's a mid-credit scene and an end post-credit scene. Yes. But this one, there's only a post-credit scene, so make sure you stay. Now,
once again, we got to keep on saying this. Spoilers.
Because we're going to go through it because I'm confused. Okay. So Sam Wilson comes to see Stearns in the raft, and that's when Stearns says to him, when the Avengers regroup, you can protect the world. But who's going to protect them from the others?
From other
From
other worlds.
But he didn't say. He said the others.
But before that, he did say there's other worlds out there, and they've got heroes like you.
Oh.
So they have Avengers, we have Avengers, but what happens when these intergalactic cosmic Avengers come upon Earth? Now you've met your match. What are you going to do then?
Okay, is that what he's saying?
Yes, yes. They may want to take over. They may not. They may be here to help. But, you know, when you have two big alpha teams,
right?
Who's going to prevail?
Okay.
So what he's telling Sam is there's other Avenger types. They may be good, they may be bad, but when they come, they're going to be your equals. So you better get ready. Who's going to protect you?
And I've seen it in my probabilities in my big head. Yeah. Okay. Now,
so it's a good setup. It's a good setup for what's coming.
It's a good setup, and it's a setup that can be go to a lot of different places, which I'm sure they were calculating on.
Yeah, nothing was too specific, so they have a lot of outs.
Yes, they do. Like, because you know, we've seen a lot of tags that are never gonna happen.
Yeah, which was what my wish was for this scene. I was hoping to see more of a meta tag where we see characters from abandoned storylines imprisoned with Stearns
in the raft.
characters that were teased, like Blade,
Oh,
like Hercules, like Mac Gargan.
Oh.
He becomes the Scorpion. He was played by that character in Breaking Bad.
Oh,
Then
goodness.
we're all excited to see him in the MCU. Yeah, bye. And Thanos' brother Eros, played by Harry Styles.
Oh!
Okay, kind of glad we dropped that one.
Oh, my
And there's so many
goodness.
different characters that were brought up and never seen again. And that would have explained why we haven't seen these abandoned characters.
Because they're caught in the raft.
And if Marvel never gets to around to them, we'll know why. Because they're in the raft. It's an easy out, Marvel. I would have loved to have seen that.
That's really funny. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, I think that would have been cool. I was a little disappointed in the tag, because it was a little too wishy-washy.
It was very, very
broad. It was broad. Yes.
But specific enough to know that there's another big threat coming.
Yeah.
I like that when there's high stakes. You don't know what they are just yet, but there's high stakes coming. So, Sarah, how many shields do you give Captain America Brave New World? And yes, once again, I'd look at the notes to look at Brave New World.
I know. Okay, so shields out of 10. 10 shields?
Out of 10, yes.
Okay. Out of 10 Captain America shields, I give this, I would say, a solid 7.
Okay.
It's not among my top favorite MCU films. Probably really doesn't break the top 10, but Harrison Ford automatically gives it a notch, just to watch him work with Anthony Mackie.
Okay.
What about you?
I would give it a 7.8.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's up from last night.
From last night. I was at a solid 7, but going through it again and just remembering all those great moments with Harrison Ford gave it another boost. Not really a 9, just because it's not a film that when it's a rainy Sunday, do you want to watch an MCU film? This is not going to be one of them.
Right.
But it's still worth seeing. There's so much to this. It sets up so much in the future while paying off other storylines.
Yes. Like, I really would like to see Incredible Hulk again, watch the Captain America Falcon and Winter Soldier series, and then see this film.
Yes. Those work as a good 1-2-3 punch.
Yeah. I think that would be a fun rainy day watch.
Hold on. That. I want to redo that as a 1-2-3 Hulk smash.
Oh, there you go. 1-2-3 Captain America shield fling.
So definitely see this because it is a very fun action adventure film. You will never be bored.
And in the theater too, this film was great. We saw it in IMAX. And that was great.
Mm-hmm.
Those big, giant, expansive Indian Ocean flying scenes, amazing.
So, Skywalkers, are you excited to see this film? Did this primer help you the way it could have helped us last night? Let us know your thoughts in the comments of this show post. Hulk smash!
Shield.
The whip.
No, that's the wrong franchise.
No, it's not.
No. Okay.
It's part of the MCU.
Speaking of Captain America shields, there is a new sipper at Avengers Campus in DCA, and it's the Captain America shield, and I need it.
Yeah, it's about, 12 inches?
I would say it's about 12 inches in diameter from the reel that Disney Parks posted. And it has, from what it looks like, it has straps that you can actually wear it on your back. And they showed a guy wearing my exact Spirit jersey, wearing it on the back. And I was like, I need that now. It was amazing.
Hopefully by next episode we'll have it. And
it's
a sipper.
It's a sipper. I want it. I want my shield. That wraps up episode 503 of Skywalking Through Neverland. We want to thank Disney for inviting us to a media screening of Captain America Brave New World. And we want to thank all of you Skywalkers who listen every week. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the button for notifications for when we go live.
Now, do you have things that you want to share? Well, we do, and we like to share them every Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific time on YouTube in our Things
We Want to Share.
That's where we go over what we have done. This coming week, we're going to have a Captain America discussion.
Yes.
We want to invite you to come on. And other times, we've invited Skywalkers to come on and share part of their collection, something they've done. This is a show where it's not just us, it's you Skywalkers too.
Now, are you interested in our books? Autographed copies of Today in Star Wars History, Parts 1 and 2, and also Skywalking Through My Fandom, the interactive notebook, are available now from skywalkingthroughneverland.com/book.
Now, do you want to support Skywalking Through Neverland in other ways? Well, consider supporting us through the Skywalking Force, which is our Patreon. The Skywalking Force has access to bonus content in the form of our Zoom discussions, our StreamYard discussions on Skeleton Crew, going back to WandaVision, coming soon, Andor.
And Daredevil
Daredevil in March. Oh
yes.
My goodness. So much coming. And this bonus content begins at only $5 a month. So head over there to skywalkingforce.com and have a look at all the options. And thank you to those who are already part of the Skywalking Force.
Including Jeff
Caffrey.
Thank you, Jeff. Aw. Now, we'd also like to thank our sponsor, Small World Vacations, for their support. Are you thinking of a trip to Disney parks, a Disney cruise, or a Universal Epic Universe vacation? They can hook you up with a Universal vacation to the Helios Grand Hotel, which is right next to Epic Universe and has its own entrance at the back of the park, right by Dark Universe. We're so excited. Okay.
So excited for this.
So excited.
So check them out and tell them Skywalking Through Neverland sent you.
Now we are part of the Skywalking Network. Skynet. Where you can find other great shows like Talking Apes,
the Max Effects Podcast,
the Neverland Clubhouse,
Totally Tell Me Everything,
Star Warsologies,
and the YouTube shows Collectopolis and Today in Star Wars History. Now, don't forget to stick around for bloopers and other fun bits that didn't make it into the show. And
always remember,
Hulk smash.
And
Neverland on Alderaan. I see you.
Meh. All right, do your claps. Clapping claps.
That's better.
I'm never going to use it as a sipper, but we're going to display it next to my Thor hammer.
Mjolnir.
Yeah, Mjolnir. Mjolnir hammer. Yes.
MCU in your names. Come on.
There's no sound for the Captain America's shield flipping around. I'm so upset.
Doink, 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 as the shield bumps off of everything from
whoosh.
Walls to trees to toilets to people's heads. Hey, look at those names to the left. They are part of the Skywalking Force, our Patreon.
Become a producer yourself and check out all the Disney Plus themed bonus content available depending on the level you subscribe.
Become a member of the elite Skywalking Force at skywalkingforce.com.